Hey everybody, you are tuning in to the Canary Cry News Talk live stream pre-stream. We're just about to get the show started and we're glad that you are here. Good show today. It's Monday. That's always nice. I am back from my time portal accident that happened last episode. But hopefully all that should be figured out. But you never really know. You never really know until it's too late. So this is just a quick reminder to everybody out there. Remember, you can go to CanaryCry.Party to sign up for all the things, including the newsletter. Haven't pitched the newsletter lately, but another great way to make sure that you never miss a show. We send out the newsletter with all sorts of easy to access links to all of our outlets, as well as some other fun things within the Canaryverse. So go check that out. You can go to CanaryCry.Party and sign up for the newsletter there. We've had some really nice notes from people who are so grateful for the newsletter and don't know why anybody wouldn't be signed up for it, including the fact that you receive the show notes for every show before anyone else, before the world has a chance to react. And it's a great way for us to decentralize our sources and for you to have them at your fingertips at any moment that you need. It's a wonderful tool. Other than that, thank you to, we've got some new back-end producers that we are working on getting set up to bring all sorts of cool new resources your way. So hola to everyone in the chat over on Twitch and YouTube and DLive and Rumble and Odysee and all over the place. Very, very happy to have you guys here. And now we're just going to get the show started. So make sure to stay hydrated. It's very, very important. And other than that, buckle your seatbelts because it's going to be a smooth, calm ride all the way through the show. Let's go.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today we are live to tape on April 18th, 2022. This is episode 473. And today, CYBERKIMCHI. That's right. Razzle dazzle, I'm your best buddy Basil.
Yum, 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 kimchi. And my name is Gonz, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ. Yes, I've eaten kimchi and I like it. Welcome to the podcast where we bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events. Basil, do you like kimchi?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I have it when it's around. I don't think I've ever seeked it out.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's a good, it's a good bunker type of food. You know?
Kimchi finds me.
Okay,
you know, that's
good.
the thing. It's basically sauerkraut, but
it is
spicier.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. Well, maybe we can ask Bill Gates about that because
we're taking things that are genetically modified organisms and we're injecting them in little kids' arms. We just shoot them right into the vein, right into the vein, right into the vein.
Just at the top here, real quick before we get into anything at all, according to theguardian.com, send us your questions for Bill Gates. Got something to ask the Microsoft co-founder and philanthropist? Send it our way and we'll put it to him. And The Guardian has this whole form here we can fill out and we can send a question to Bill Gates. So chat, go ahead and type in Bill Gates : and then whatever question you think we should send throughout the episode. If we catch a good one, we'll use it. We'll send it. Yeah, hopefully. If we don't, we won't. But, you know, if I see a good one.
Yeah, we'll send out a big mail bag of questions to Bill Gates. And look, folks, we all have questions for Bill Gates.
Yes, we do. Yeah.
But this just sounds like trouble to me. I mean, I don't know what Bill Gates is thinking. making this a thing. I mean, maybe he just wants the onslaught of questions like, why do you want to depopulate the Earth? Why are you a lizard man?
This is Bill Gates's PR team saying, okay, we need better analysis of what the sentiment of Bill is. Let's open it up. Let's collect. This is a data gathering operation.
You're right.
Yeah,
it is. It's a data. They're getting the data so they know what battles they actually have to fight as their PR team, as his PR team.
Exactly. So anyway, I just thought I'd launch with that because, whenever Bill Gates is opening up questions to the world, might as well throw in our questions into that,
And it's all data, so I guess they want to know all the horrible questions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So anyway,
that's great.
What are we talking about today?
We've got a nice full show for you today. We're going to be checking in on some of the updates with federal masking mandates, CDC mandates. Going to be checking in with the cyber pandemic in North Korea. Of course, Flippy will be stopping by. But we got politics, a little update on Alex Jones as well. Another round 2 on our Pharmakia segment, checking in with magic mushrooms and the mommies and the men and the Manchurians. Also, of course, in the C block, when we let YouTube go to wander off into the woods, you can, of course, catch the show in other places. But we'll be checking in with COVID and the vaccine and a little bit more about mRNA in particular. And then, at the end of the show, we're going to be doing a Nephilim update, talking about space, all sorts of fun stuff. So stick around. We've got a lot of good show for you. Starting with Gonz, a little update from Florida. Which we don't.
Well, this is a somewhat CDC thing too, right?
CDC, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
The Rochelle thing.
Get out of my face, Rochelle.
And, this is an official call out. So much happens in Florida all the time, but especially now during the election season and the post-COVID era. I mean, Florida is just
post-COVID. How dare you? We are still in the thick of this.
We're in it. The pandemic's not over, man.
Yeah.
Florida is a focal point for news and sort of, inflammatory happenings that are being covered almost every day, all day. So I figured we might need to put the call out for a Florida man jingle. The old Florida man trope. If we're going to be keeping an eye on Florida, we've got all sorts of Florida men. We've got, DeSantis. He's a Florida man. Mm-hmm. We've got Trump. He's a Florida man. That's Mar-a-Lago, baby. Mm-hmm. And, of course, another Florida man.
Face-eating zombie guy. Do you remember him?
Bath salt guy.
Yeah, eating people's faces on the street.
Well, the New York Post is bringing us an article about another Florida man, and that is a federal judge. Ooh. And this federal judge strikes down CDC mask mandates in airports and other transport hubs.
Strikes down. Wow. Strike
it down, baby. I also saw it put as smacks down was another popular headline.
You know what I just realized? This is the most COVID thing we've done in the first block of the show in a while. Because of the fact that we don't like to
talk about COVID.
Yeah, trigger the algos on YouTube. But hey,
but
whatever.
This is we're just reporting some court news here more than anything. We got nothing to say about COVID.
Had to choose New York Post, huh? The bastion of fake news.
That'll never get us banned from anything.
No, they didn't block New York Post at all during the Hunter Biden thing. But go ahead.
That's opposite of the truth, Gonz, and that's called humor, folks.
That's called sarcasm.
A federal judge in Florida ordered the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to lift its mask mandate for airports, planes, and other forms of travel Monday. That's today, saying the agency had overstepped its authority. U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell. Oh, I guess it's not this is Florida woman.
KK. She must be. She's got 2 Ks in her name. Must be a part of KKK.
This is a good point, actually. Jinglers, make note. We must be inclusive. We fight for equity here for Florida men and women to both make it into the jingle. U.S. District Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell, an appointee of President Donald Trump, ruled that the CDC neither properly explained its decision to impose the mandate nor followed proper rulemaking procedures. Quote, because our system does not permit agencies to act unlawfully, even in the pursuit of desirable ends. The court declares unlawful and vacates the mask mandate, Mizell wrote in her decision. White House, I love this. Even if the pursuit is of desirable ends.
Very well put. Yeah, nice
Very
wording.
well put, because the noble lie is something that we've been sort of dealing with for a while now. And this federal judge says, nope, the noble lie is still a lie. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki called the ruling disappointing. Oh, she's not mad. She's just disappointed. But said the administration had not made up its mind about whether to appeal. Quote, the CDC continues recommending wearing a mask on public transit, Psaki added. I think this is very interesting. The administration had not made up its mind on whether to appeal or not, which is, you would think,
if it really was, the facts were straight.
Exactly. If they really, really believed that it was really important and that it would save the country, why would they not immediately appeal? Why would they even consider not appealing? Well, it's because, I don't know, maybe it's not about that. Mizell's decision was in response to a July lawsuit filed by the nonprofit Health Freedom Defense Fund on behalf of two women who claim that wearing masks on planes triggered or exacerbated anxiety and panic attacks. Look, I don't normally suffer from anxiety or panic attacks, but I have flown on a couple planes, and wearing that mask for hours on end while I'm already a tall guy stuffed into a little tiny cage with my knees up at my chest with the mask on, and you fall asleep and it falls off and the lady wakes you up and you get yelled at and you get flashbacks of all those YouTube videos of flight attendants punching people in the face and tackling them to the ground for not wearing a mask. It inspired a little bit of anxiety. It goes on. In her 59-page ruling, Mizell said the only remedy was to vacate the rule entirely because it would be impossible to end it solely for the two plaintiffs, writing that a limited remedy would be no remedy at all. Isn't that beautiful how our court system works? Two women brought the case, which basically asked for just them to not have to wear the mask. And this judge is like, wow, how noble of you, but I'm just going to go ahead and strike it down forever.
Well,
last week,
it seems like the perfect opportunity to do that. I'm glad she did, because she could have easily, got up on a high horse.
It's big points for the Trump-appointed federal judge.
This is going to blow up liberal minds.
One of the noble lies is that, liberals support women. All mandates.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Also women, yes, one of the noble lies.
No, they don't support all women. They say they do, but they don't.
That's what I'm saying. But yes, it is, as much as the news cycle and the internet and Twitter and everything would have us believe that all liberals want mask mandates, want vaccine mandates. It just simply isn't true, and we need to keep that in mind. And I think this is a big move, again, in the midterms and coming up on the presidential election, which will be here faster than you guys could even imagine. I think that this is a big problem for the Democrats, and that's why they are, hesitating to fight it, because they're like, well, we want to look like we're fighting Trump on everything, but if we fight to make sure everybody's wearing masks on a plane, then we're going to lose a huge piece of the voting base, our own liberal voting base. Last week, the CDC announced the transportation mask mandate would be extended for another 15 days 2 weeks to flatten the curve, after it was originally set to expire Monday. The judge sent the order back to the CDC for further proceedings. The CDC announced last week that it was going to extend the mask mandate on public transportation until May 3rd, citing an uptick in coronavirus cases, claiming it needed more time to examine the BA2.
Sounds very Chinese in methodology. We got the positive case, lock it down, extend.
We need to examine. We must examine BA2.
It's like a soft form of it out here in the West, where it's a lot more nasty in China.
Quote, since early April, there have been an increase in the 7-day blah, blah. Nobody cares. Mm-hmm. Nobody cares. No. The CDC decision on the mask mandates came just after the federal agency announced the plan of ending of Title 42, which allows Border Patrol officials to expel migrants hearing asylum claims because of the pandemic on May 23rd. Just throwing a little Border Patrol news in there, which will come up later in the show.
We'll get back to that one.
It all connects, folks. The chief executive officer of all the major airlines called on the Biden administration last month. We know all this. Long story short, there you go. The federal judge had the power, took the opportunity to strike down the CDC's, kind of wildly incoherent travel mask mandate. I mean, you don't have to wear them anywhere else, just on a plane or a train or a bus. There were some questions about when this actually took effect. It is not in this article, but there's a CNN article about the same thing that claimed that it would still be in effect for a couple of weeks, I believe.
Okay.
I'll pull that up real quick.
It's funny, depending on where you live, feels like this whole I haven't thought about a mask or any in a while now. You know what I mean? Nobody's wearing it. Well, there's some people still wearing them out and about, but for the majority, no workers, nobody's wearing masks. So
totally,
it's very.
And you're down in Southern California, so that means something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I'm not in LA County, so there is that. But anyway, good
Orange
stuff.
County, it's around there. Yeah. So I don't think that it's taking effect right now. I'm pulling up the other article that had it, and I will see if I can so quickly figure it out. Nope, can't do it. Okay. But it'll be another week or two until it actually takes effect, I believe.
Right. All right. Well, good to know. At least it's been a while since we've had some kind of reversal in the trend when it comes to this stuff. So
totally,
it's nice.
Here it is. It is unclear how quickly the ruling will be implemented at airports or train stations across the country, or if the Justice Department will seek an order halting the ruling and file an appeal. So, it's not set in stone yet.
Yeah,
but it is a step in the right direction.
Yep, for sure.
The COVID-19 crisis would be seen as a small disturbance in comparison to a major cyber pandemic.
North Korea's kind of
Wow, that's fun. Been a while since we played that one.
Yeah, it was a Jonathan F. jingle. Appreciate that.
Yeah.
So this is coming from Market Insider, and the headline here is, a blockchain expert explains how North Korea's $625 million crypto hack presents a new national security threat and why it marks a shift in the global digital battlefield. Crypto hack causing worldwide crisis, cyber pandemic.
Mayhem.
U.S. authorities this week listen to this. U.S. authorities this week tied North Korean hackers to the historic $625 million Axie Infinity crypto swindle, with the massive hack signifying the emergence of a new type of national security threat, according to a blockchain expert. Now, first off, do you know what Axie Infinity is, Basil?
I only got a little refresher before the show.
Okay, so it's a game. It's a blockchain-based game. You have NFTs. It's kind of like Pokemon. There's some elements about capturing these creatures, and it's that thing. That kind of gaming thing, all on blockchain and NFTs and everything else. And the hack wasn't of the protocol or the blockchain itself. It was actually a bridge from Ethereum to Axie. I forget the name of the bridge, but I think it was called Wormhole. Maybe that was a different one. But all these bridges are getting hacked.
Yeah, the crypto uninitiated might need a quick review.
Sure.
A bridge is basically just a
bridge
network that can bring one crypto asset to another blockchain, like bring your Ethereum onto another.
Yes, because you can't really move Ethereum around on another blockchain. You put it through this bridge, and then it creates this new token called like whatever it is, wrapped ETH.
Kind of like a middleman.
Yeah,
it's just
kind
a
of like a middleman.
network.
So that's what's been hacked, not so much the actual blockchain itself. But who cares about the details? Cyber pandemic, baby. On Thursday, the U.S. Treasury Department added an Ethereum wallet address to its sanction list after the wallet facilitated transfers for more than $86 million of the stolen funds. The hacking sanctions. The hacking outfits Lazarus and APT-38, both linked to North Korea, were behind the theft. The FBI said in a statement, and the funds are generating revenue for Kim Jong-un's regime. How do they know this? How do they know? Now, Lazarus has been associated with North Korea in the past. Interesting to bring up Lazarus on Resurrection Weekend. Thought that was kind of a, just a minor note.
Man.
APT
tapping into the resurrection narrative going on.
Kim Jong-un's resurrection. Because he died, right? He died like 2 years ago. I'm just kidding.
There was that rumor for a while.
APT-38, which is this other hacking group, from what I understand, they're kind of like a subset of Lazarus. The Lazarus Group is like this group of hackers, and then APT-38 is like one of the groups. But anyway, Ari Redboard, head of legal and government affairs at blockchain research firm TRM, says the attack shows that even a nation as isolated as North Korea can participate in new age cyber warfare. New age cyber warfare. Quote, over the last few years, many hacks have been perpetrated by North Korea, Redboard told Insider, quote, but the magnitude of this one shows things have moved from small exploits to true national security concerns. It's staggering. Bank robbery at the speed of the internet. Which is so funny because they hacked a bridge on a video game, a blockchain video game. That is a true national security concern now. Oh boy. For years, North Korea actors have been responsible for cyber attacks, including high-profile hit against Sony in 2014. I didn't know they associated that to North Korea. I didn't,
that's when I first learned about Lazarus. The Lazarus Group.
Yeah, maybe, but I didn't. I don't think, well, I don't know. I don't remember. Anyway, but groups like Lazarus have grown increasingly sophisticated and ambitious. Wasn't the Sony hack like the password to the CEO's computer was like password or something? And it was like some ridiculously low level.
I don't think it was the CEO, but yes, it was very easy. Yeah. It barely counted as a hack.
Right. Meanwhile, businesses within the nascent crypto sector are still finding their footing when it comes to cybersecurity, which makes them vulnerable to hacking groups which are continuously honing their tactics. Quote, North Korea realized a hack against an online retailer was one thing, but going after crypto exchanges is a more effective way to fund destabilizing activity at a very low cost to them, Redboard said, spoken like a true intelligence officer. The country was an early adopter of cryptocurrency money laundering, he added, and there's no sign its bad actors will slow their efforts since it's proven to be extremely profitable. What's more, Redboard noted that social engineering attacks, such as the Axie Infinity infiltration, are becoming more advanced. So again,
yeah, it's called phishing.
Yeah, this is a social engineering attack, kind of like if anybody has seen Mr. Robot, it's more of like a personal relationship getting on the inside, kind of like what Veritas, Project Veritas does. They kind of do social engineering. They get on the inside and then they exploit. So that's completely different from just a hack from some random group from the outside. But anyway.
And that is kind of the thing. If you talk to actual hackers, like people in that group, if you know a white hat hacker or somebody who knows what's going on in there, they will tell you that most hacking, quote unquote hacking, is simply social engineering. Like social engineering is a huge part of quote unquote hacker culture. Because it's way easier to just kind of like trick somebody into giving you their password than it is to like hack the mainframe,
right?
We traditionally consider it.
Yeah.
So this does not surprise me.
Yeah, these hacks aren't a consequence of simple mass phishing emails, he explained, but nuanced and targeted strikes on specific individuals. While North Korea has an extremely small economy and limited infrastructure, it has proven it can participate in cyber warfare at a scale similar to global superpowers like the U.S. and China. I wonder why that is, Basil. Why is North Korea, who can barely feed their own people, so good at cyber warfare? Could it be because they are getting help from certain somebody?
Well, there's lots of options. I know you have a theory on that. But the automatic narrative is we are to believe that it's China that helps them with that.
Oh, of course. Yeah, the Chinese. Yeah. My theory surrounds any kind of central intelligence, but mainly the U.S. Central Intelligence, who seems to, where North Korea seems to be a very useful tool for us in terms of this kind of narrative of like all those horrible people in North Korea, cyber attacking everybody. They're so good at cyber warfare. They've been doing it since 2014. It's almost too good, too good to be true. Almost.
Timelines are pretty suspicious.
And it would make sense, and this is sort of in the Trump context here, why Trump visited North Korea, talked to Kim Jong-un directly. Well, if Trump was trying to get intel on the people going after him, which is, effectively the people in this country, some intel operators, you would say, and if they had their hand in North Korea, it would be wise to speak directly to Kim Jong-un, cut out the middleman, the CIA, and see if you can find any dirt on the people that are helping Kim Jong-un, trying to turn him from the CIA to the Trump intelligence agency.
Well, and it was a classic Trump move. I mean, he was repeatedly circumventing the traditional intelligence agencies because he was very suspicious of them. And it was in mainstream news that Trump doesn't trust the CIA. Trump ignores his CIA briefings. Trump goes around the CIA. And that was one of the things with his visit to North Korea is like, it seems wild, but it's also, it would be one way to circumnavigate the CIA, which was sort of explicitly his enemy at the time. The CIA directors were all, if not explicit anti-Trumpers, they were at least, active Democrats.
Right.
That would be one way to get around going through the official channels, which is a classic Trump move.
And bringing North Korea back into sort of the political not the spectrum, the stage, I guess, like the conversation. The conversation, the publicly viewable stage area.
Yeah, they weren't just outcasts.
Right. The Axie Infinity hack in particular reinforced Redboard's belief that the scale of digital attacks are climbing at such a rate that a new type of warfare is emerging. This is a quote, over the last year or so, we've moved from a post-9/11 world into a new digital battlefield, Redboard said. Quote, nation-state actors know to go after crypto businesses to fund real weapon proliferation. It's not just some hackers trying to fund a lifestyle. North Korea's
real weapons.
Yeah, real weapons.
Not fake weapons.
Like guns, man. Yeah. North Korea's use of the group Lazarus confirms that the country's isolated status and lack of modern infrastructure doesn't hold it back from participating in cyber warfare on the world stage, Redboard explained. The cryptocurrency industry is an excellent target for these attacks because of the volume of transactions and funds being moved every day, but also because the businesses aren't fully mature and may still be developing their own cybersecurity protocols. Unfortunately, this means many firms often do not have the most up-to-date security measures in place. And it just, we need better cybersecurity. We need more funding. We need more research. It all comes back to that. But the reason why I named the episode CYBERKIMCHI is, one, I thought it would be amusing for you to consider a CYBERKIMCHI.
It was fun to say.
Yeah. Just this idea of you eating kimchi for some reason is very entertaining to me. But also,
you've got such a beautiful mind.
I know my mind does things. But back in 2014, because it mentioned 2014 here, I found an article from back in 2014 from The Diplomat. It's published in December 2014. And the headline is, Can the White House make kimchi out of cabbage in the Sony hack?
What?
It talks about cyber terrorism and North Korea, and the final line in the article here is: while the White House may have initially have overstepped in reining its rhetoric back, the U.S. still has the opportunity to make kimchi out of cabbage. So I thought, cyber kimchi. This is where we're going.
Journalism.
With this whole thing. So there you
Love
go.
it.
Yeah. So I think we got to pay attention to countries like this that have some level of influence and power when it comes to alleged influence and power when it comes to the cyber warfare thing and the cyber pandemic. Who are the players? Who is behind it? And of course, in the digital world, the post 9/11 digital warfare world, it is increasingly more challenging to identify the actors. It's so easy to create
it's
a
on
veneer,
purpose.
to create a sort of a layer of obfuscation. And I'm
in the
thinking
old
too,
world.
Yeah.
In the old world, you would fund, rebel groups.
Right.
In the new world, you fund hacker groups.
Rogue nations, quote unquote. Yeah. And I'm thinking too, can you imagine some hacker? I'm thinking just like some, low-level hacker living in mom's basement or whatever, and got a couple friends are working away, trying to hack some stuff, and they decide like, hey, we got this Axie Infinity hack. Where should we, how should we cloak ourselves? And they're like, we'll put the IP as North Korea. Those guys seem to be into the, And then a few weeks later, they see they see this headline. When they get their Starbucks coffee in the morning, walking into their basement, and their buddy's like, "Oh, bro, look what happened." I'm just painting a hypothetical picture.
I'm sure it happens more than we expect.
How this thing could come about as well. That it's not the intelligence agencies, but just some low-level hacker.
As a quick comment, when it comes to this new world of the cyber warfare, of course, Klaus Schwab was the one who sort of told everybody that the cyber pandemic is going to be significantly worse than COVID ever was. And things like this will be used as control mechanisms, as every crisis is. So keep an eye out for that and how that new fight materializes in these sort of freedom-loving, hearts and minds of people who believe that human beings are all, equal and don't need some sort of godlike superstructure to tell them what to do, except for God himself, of course. And even the connection with the Russia-Ukraine issue going on. I mean, the cyber battlefield being the most effective or slash most devious and diabolical, as well as the easiest, like you said, to obfuscate the actual enemies. But the news cycle of constantly covering the idea that Russia sort of encourages cybercrime and hacker groups and things like that. Now we've got Chinese hackers, we've got Russia hackers, we've got North Korea hackers. Oh, the hackers, we got to get the hackers.
Those Ukrainian hackers using Clearview AI.
Oh, those are the good guys, though. Oh, they're allowed to be hackers.
They okay. All right. As long as they're sending pictures of their dead children to Russian moms, we're okay with it.
It's messed up. All right, Gonz. Well, speaking of that, you know what day it is?
Gary, what day is it? Monday. Gary, what day is it? Monday.
Yeah.
Yes, and Canary Cry News Talk is here to blow your blues away, folks. And Gonz, I have a big piece of news that some people will be excited to hear, and that is last night on Easter. Not only was it the day to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ, but also the resurrection of Skate Night. It's a skate report.
Howdy, partner.
Do you even skate?
Do you even skate? That's right, folks. I got my feet turned into wheels. Back in the rink. And gotta say, haven't lost, didn't skip a beat.
It's like riding a bike.
Riding a bike, floating around, maybe even better than I ever have. In fact, I was feeling so bold that I started working on my my tricks.
Ooh.
I got some tricks now, bro.
Uh-oh. Okay.
Yeah. So, first of all, I will say, because it was Easter, not a single person in a black robe
open
riding
rink.
around. Right. Not a single person wearing a black robe and carrying a knife and, worshiping in the Church of Skaten. No, it was all good Christians who were skating on Easter. It was a wonderful time. And I have a new social study for you on the
okay.
in my anthropological studies of skating culture.
Yeah.
Okay.
Skater psychology.
Around.
Okay.
That's right. Skater psychology, social interactions. So I started working on tricks. Okay. Got my tricks. I'm working on skating backwards, switching from forwards, doing a little bunny hop, doing a cool little, some cool tricks. Took all night long, fell on my butt so many times. I'm in so much pain right now. I'm an old man who fell about a time. Cool trick.
Oh no, you're losing connection. Hold on. Say that again.
Am I really?
The last 10 seconds, I couldn't hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was just saying, I'm an old man, and I fell many times trying to get my trick down. And in the past, where I am either ignored by everybody or sometimes physically assaulted by the alpha boys or sort of scorned by the fast skaters or whatever, I actually found myself with some encouragement.
Oh.
Yes, it turns out all you got to do is try really, really hard to get better at skating, fall down 1,000 times in front of God and everyone there at the skate rink. And when you finally nail it, I had first of all, throughout the whole thing, there's so much encouragement. People skating by, oh, you almost had it. Or are you okay? Mostly, are you okay? That looks like it hurt. Good, man. I'm these rubber baby.
Oh no, what's going on with the connection? This is bad. We lost Basil at the end of last episode, so oh no, we lost connection completely. No, not during the story. Oh, you're back. You're back.
No, it's happening again.
It's bad. We're having our own cyber pandemic over here.
I'm scared.
Yeah,
Anyways, I nailed the trick.
Mm-hmm.
I nailed the trick, and one of the alpha boys came by, and he was like, "Yeah, that was sick." And I was like, "Wow, that is a lot of encouragement. Thank you very much." So there's a little trick for everybody heading off to the skate rink this week. You take a beating trying to land a trick, but when you do, the alpha boys are there to encourage you.
Oh, awesome. Excellent. Well, my only update is that longtime listeners will remember a while ago, I got a spider bite on my calf, and I thought I was going to lose my leg. It was so infected and huge, and it took up my whole calf. Well, I think it's an annual thing because I got the spider bite again, same leg, almost the same spot. It's as if the spider, Satan's little spider minion came and yes, I'm back for more of your blood, and just decided to.
Or nanobots. Maybe they have
the
to
worst side of the theory
little
that I don't like
maintenance nanobots in the service in your half there. Replace battery.
Oh my gosh, your connection is so bad. This is so bad.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I might take a small break.
Yeah.
Go reset some things. I'll be back in a few minutes. You just take the.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Well, go do what you got to do. In the meantime,
you got to think.
I was going to do that. Yeah, kind of. You're very choppy. I think we need to reconnect. It's pretty bad.
Okay, let's
Okay, you should stop talking. Is what you should do for the live stream. To be 100% honest, but okay. Hold on. This is fun. All right, there we go. Basil will be back in a moment here. Let me see. Well, we'll see what happens in terms of that. But yeah, let's real quickly here, because we're off time now. We do want to thank our executive producers of episode, 473. My gosh, we just keep plugging away. And so executive producers. Yeah, we don't take advertising money. We don't take corporate money. We don't do any of that stuff. We are 100% supported by the people. That is you. And we'd like to thank our executive producers at the top of the show because they're making the show happen at a level that deserves a little attention at the top. And today we're going to thank Caroline F. Thank you, Caroline, for your executive producership today.
Where'd you find this?
And also Rochelle S. Thank you very much, Rochelle S.
Where'd you find this?
Having connection issues still with Basil over there. But yeah, thank you very much, Rochelle S. We'll do a more thorough thank you during the first break, but it's just something that we wanted to do at the very top here so that people know that the show is brought to you by the people. And if you support the show financially, you are a producer. That's how things work. Okay, so this is all like Basil stuff, Flippy and all that. Okay, you know what I'm going to do just to pull an audible here? Let's jump into politic real quick and cover that, and then we'll let Basil get back to Flippy. I don't know. I'm calling it an audible. Let's just make that happen. See if that works. Here we go.
Poly. It's Latin for many. Tick. Now suck your blood. Now suck politics. Your blood.
Yeah, extra help from the hey. Show's falling apart here. We got dogs. Hey, dogs barking. Co-hosts getting hit by the cyber pandemic. Man. Okay, the politic story here is from Reuters. And the headline here is U.S. arrests 210,000 migrants at Mexico border in March, rivaling record highs, which is just hilarious. Well, it's not hilarious, but yeah, just in the context of American politics, it is amusing to suggest that the Democrats in the last few years were very much pushing for open borders and, allowing immigrants in and immigrant rights or migrant rights and all this kind of stuff, conflating the idea of legal migration and illegal migration or immigration. And, of course, they're highly critical of Trump and the wall and all that kind of stuff. And now under Biden's watch, Democrat, you have record-breaking month of arrests over the border. So here's what it says. Washington, U.S. border authorities arrested 210,000 migrants attempting to cross the border with Mexico in March, the highest monthly total in 2 decades, and underscoring challenges in the coming months for U.S. President Joe Biden. Got a weird pop-up thing here that's blocking the text. Always interesting. I'm losing all kinds of stuff here. The March total is a 24% increase. I'm guessing it's same month. Let's see. What does it say here? Earlier in the month, 169,000 immigrants were picked up at the border a month before, I'm guessing. So 24% higher in March. The start of a rise in migration that left thousands unaccompanied children stuck in crowded border patrol stations for days while they awaited placement in overwhelmed government-run shelters. So, yeah, there you go. Yeah, under Biden, they're rounding up a lot more people coming across the border. Biden, a Democrat who took office in January 2021, pledged to reverse many of the hardline immigration policies of his Republican predecessor, former President Donald Trump, but has struggled both operationally and politically with high numbers of attempted crossings. That is funny, both operationally and politically. He's not doing well on either front. Usually politicians can pull off, at the very least, politically making a case so that people are sort of enthralled by whatever political virtue signaling a politician does, where operationally things aren't really, changed, or nothing has changed, or nothing's happening. But funny how Reuters says both operationally and politically. Nothing good out of this. Republicans who hope to gain control of the U.S. Congress in November 8 midterm elections say Biden's rollback of Trump-era policies has encouraged more illegal immigration. I agree with that. Biden officials have cautioned that migration could rise further after U.S. health officials said they will end a pandemic-era border order. Hold on, let me read that again. Biden officials have cautioned that migration could rise further as U.S. health officials said they will end a pandemic-era border order by May 23rd. The order known as Title 42. Did we just talk about Title 42? That must be part of the mask. Okay, so that's the thing that has all the COVID stuff. Okay, got it. I don't know what that has to do with the migration thing, but okay. While more than half of the migrants encountered at the U.S.-Mexico border in recent months have been from the traditional sending countries of Mexico, Guatemala, Honduras, and El Salvador, migrants have increasingly been arriving from more far-flung places, including Ukraine and Russia. U.S. officials are preparing for as many as 18,000 migrant encounters per day in the coming weeks, but are also readying for smaller increases. The 210,000 migrants arrested in March, a figure made public in a court filing on Friday night, is the highest monthly total on record since February 2000, according to U.S. Customs and Border Protection statistics dating back to 2000. Another 11,000 migrants attempted to enter at a legal crossing along the southwest border in March without a valid visa or permission. Yeah, that's what illegal immigration is, but okay. Roughly half of the migrants encountered in March were expelled under the Title 42 order, the court filing said. Okay, so that puts, that's a lot of political mishmash. It puts the Democrats in a difficult situation. And again, when we talk about Democrats and Republicans and all that kind of stuff on this show, we're not saying it as one party or another or supporting one party or another. We're more so talking in the context of the right-left paradigm. We understand here that it's sort of a constructed paradigm. But, once you enter the ring and you can sort of describe what's happening in the tensions between the right and left through policy and through action and all that kind of stuff. And this is one of those instances, one of those examples where you have this political issue. This is one of those points of contention that can sway the election in coming up in November, seeing that the Democrats are seeing Biden, sort of not doing what he was promising to do, I guess. And of course, it's the kind of thing that really riles up Republicans to come vote. So all of this seems to be moving in the direction of the conservative right Republican Party, which of course is, ideologically, me personally, and I suppose Basil to some extent, I guess we have quote unquote more common sort of presuppositions with that side of the aisle in terms of some of the worldview. Nevertheless, it's a paradigm. So in any case, let's see how we're doing with Basil. Is there, he must be rebooting the whole shaboog. What's a shaboog? I don't know. Just made up a word. Basil's rig is from here on called a shaboog. His VR shaboog. All right. Let's move on here. I'm just going to keep moving. Just going to keep going, and we'll figure out, we'll pick up the pieces when we can come back online with Basil. In the meantime, let's see here. Here we go.
Were made by the aliens. They've been creating animal-human hybrids for decades.
Yes, they have. Alex Jones is in the news, and according to Houston, or click2houston.com, that's KPRC2 News at 4. Alex Jones's InfoWars files for bankruptcy protection. And here's what it says. Victoria, Texas. InfoWars has filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection as the website's founder and conspiracy theorist Alex Jones faces defamation lawsuits over the comments that the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting was a hoax. The bankruptcy filing Sunday in Texas puts civil litigation on hold while the business reorganizes its finances. The filing came a week before a jury in Texas was set to begin considering how much money Jones, who has already lost the defamation lawsuit, should pay the families of Sandy Hook victims. Let's just keep going here, and then I'll comment some more. In its court filings, InfoWars said it had estimated assets of $50,000 or less and estimated liabilities of $1 million to $10 million. InfoWars said it had estimated assets of $50,000. InfoWars only has an asset, or it's a bucket of money or assets that can be considered $50,000. That's kind of shady, and I guess insured $1 to $10 million. Interesting. The plaintiffs in that case have said they were subjected to harassment and death threats from Jones's followers because he promoted the hoax conspiracy that crisis actors faked the shooting in an effort by the government to take away guns and restrict firearms. Yeah, man, Jones has since conceded that the shooting did happen. Yeah. This is one of those topics that multiple things can be true at the same time. And, because a lot of the conversation when it comes to conspiracy events or events that present conspiratorial interpretations, they usually have this like one or the other sort of false dichotomy presented, right? It's like, it's fake or it's all real. Whereas, okay, how do you define that? When people say, oh, it was fake, they could be saying that, there were crisis actors and nobody died. And, this whole thing was just one big sort of theatrical piece, or it was real in the context of nobody planned it. It was just a crazy guy doing something crazy with a gun, going into a school and shooting up kids and all that stuff. And the reality can be a little bit of both, right? People could die. A crazy man can walk into a school with some ulterior motive. But also, it brings up the question of, well, who was informing that person who had the motive? What kind of communications may have been taking place with the individual and his people, or not people, but his friends and family, or perhaps other individuals that could be part of other quote unquote investigations. So, I mean, it gets really murky, and that's kind of the point, I think. And again, it's one of those topics where real victims can be had in terms of real individuals, losing children or, being killed themselves, and having it be part of a sort of political staged psyop, false flag type of operation. Both can be true. So in the case of this topic and, Alex Jones being sued over it and stuff like that, it's very interesting because it really does, in the minds of the public, because it is a court case, solidify the dichotomy of, oh, it was all fake, meaning nobody died, with, oh, this is real and therefore, we got to do stuff about guns and that whole narrative that takes off if you agree with that premise. So, but this whole thing with the bankruptcy seems to be a financial play for Alex Jones to, fix his books or maybe audit his own books before he makes it all public to, figure out how much he owes these families or whatever. But let's see a little bit more of what it says here in the article. The plaintiffs in that case have said they were subjected to, I think we already read that. Quote, Alex Jones is just delaying quote, Alex Jones is just delaying the inevitable, a public trial in which he will be held accountable for his profit-driven campaign of lies against the Sandy Hook families who have brought this lawsuit, said Christopher Mattei, who represents the families in a Connecticut lawsuit against Jones. An attorney for Jones has not returned a message seeking comment. Jones told his InfoWars listeners Monday that he was, quote, totally maxed out, and urged them to contribute money and buy nutritional supplements on his website to keep him on the air. Ooh, that's, we at this show are very proud that we are operational, just sustaining the show through producerships and just people, no corporate sponsorship and not really selling any products or anything like that. And, oh man, there's something about, using this as leverage to make more money, that, to sell things, I don't know. I can see both sides of it, where on one side it's like, all right, if I was in the situation where Alex Jones is in, which I don't know all the background to his ties to, all the intelligence stuff with his family and everything else going on. But, I can see how there are some desperate times for him, or we might be in some desperate times, but also I can see the other side of like, hey man, this is really some lowbrow stuff if you have to really urge your audience to buy some more supplements to help them pay off some lawsuits and some families who sued him and stuff like that. So, quote, "It's time for people to be able to see that I don't have $5 million. I don't have $3 million. We have less than $3 million cash, and we need that money to buy future products to be able to operate," Jones said. Yep. Last month, Jones was fined $75,000 for failing to appear for a deposition in a defamation case, but a judge last week ordered the return of the money because Jones eventually showed up. Another new lawsuit accuses Jones of hiding millions of dollars in assets, but an attorney for Jones has called that allegation ridiculous. Neil Heslin, whose 6-year-old son Jesse Lewis died in the Newtown school shooting, said he did not immediately know how the bankruptcy would affect his defamation lawsuit against Jones in Texas, where a trial on how much money Jones should pay in damages is set to begin next week. Quote, "It is what it is," Heslin said. "We'll see where it all goes. He's tried everything to avoid everything." Ah, man. Yeah. So, okay, let's just finish it up here. And it is not the first time a bankruptcy filing has affected a lawsuit filed by the Sandy Hook families. While suing gunmaker Remington, which manufactured the AR-15 style rifle used in the school shooting, the company filed for bankruptcy twice. In the second case filed in 2020, Remington's assets were eventually sold off to other companies. Aha, okay. They always sort of leave little nuggets like that at the end of articles. In 2020, bankruptcy delayed proceedings for a year in Connecticut, a lawsuit which sought damages against Remington for how it marked its rifles. In February, the families of 9 victims of the school shooting announced they had agreed to settle the case for $73 million. Okay, so Alex Jones is taking a page out of the Remington playbook and filing for bankruptcy so that he can sell off his assets, and that will allow him to sort of openly pay off the thing, and you can delay it. And that's my guess. That's kind of what I'm getting out of this. And this is no surprise either. I to Alex Jones's credit, he did say, like, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago that the next big thing, it's going to be lawfare. They're going to come after me through law. Legal stuff is going to get ugly. So he gave that whole rant, a little while ago. So it's no surprise, but again, it could be all part of the theatrics. And actually, this is more important when it comes to how these types of legal battles play out, because whether you like it or not, whether you are Basil or I or you producer like it or not, we here at Canary Cry News Talk are going to be labeled under the umbrella of Alex Jones, crazy conspiracy theorist, whatever. So whatever precedent this sets for a legal case, concerning a real life victim and a conspiracy theorist, right? And the false dichotomy that is presented in the courts, it's going to set a precedent of how things get dealt. And so in that regard, I think it is an important story to keep an eye on and see how things do play out. If anything, to serve as a roadmap. I mean, you clearly see Alex Jones taking a page out of Remington here. So, this is one of those topics where we'll just have to keep track. We'll have to see how it all plays out with the settlement, what kind of assets Alex Jones owns. If he's selling off assets, that'll be interesting to see, that what kind of things he's collected, maybe a house and stuff like that. So anyway, story there. Alex Jones of InfoWars files for bankruptcy protection, and keep an eye on that. All right. How are we doing? Basil? Where's Basil? Oh, man. Goes to the skate rink. Maybe he was microchipped, and they set off the internet bomb, and then his internet goes down while he's on the show. Perfect opportunity. Okay, what should I do here? Because this next topic, I'm running out of non-Basil things to cover, which is kind of a problem as we move through here. Well, let's do this. I'm going to do this completely out of order. I feel so bad for the timestampers. You guys are going to have to deal with the crazy out of order sequence that has been presented to this episode. But like surfing on a wave, we're just going to do the best we can and move around and maneuver and get the show done. So I would like to talk real briefly about, oh man, a party.
Party time.
Go to CanaryCry.Party, put it in your URL. You can find the live stream and all the things.
It's the place you wanna be. So stay. Welcome to Canary Cry. Gameplay, CanaryCry.Party.
Yeah, so that's, you can find the live stream, you can find the Clips channel, email list, text notifications, street team posters, show notes, ways to connect with other Canarians, and how to become a producer, even become a producer at the Canary Cry Roundtable of Knights and Dames. So there are all those links available here at CanaryCry.Party. Go check it out. And also go check out Ravel, another podcast that Basil does. Basil and Christopher Ryan Gates, who's a very smart man. He did a great podcast. Go check it out. Really covering all the things in that. I don't know. I would say it's like a bridge to the more normie types. You know, you don't want to jump in front of people and bust out Nephilim stuff. You know, that could be kind of rough. But a show like Ravel is a great way to introduce some normie friends to just, challenging views and having conversations and being open to challenging topics. Then you can bring them on over to Middle Earth, Christian Middle Earth, and really dive deep. But go do that. Check out Ravel, lowercase r Ravel. There are 2 Ravels. Get the right one. There's a counterfeit Ravel. There's an anti-Ravel out there. So don't be fooled. Don't be deceived by the anti-Ravel. Also, go check out Canary Cry Clips. You can find it on YouTube. Just type in Canary Cry Clips, or you can go to Odysee and type in Canary Cry Clips. And this is thanks to our producers, the Canary Cry Clippers, who take the video and audio of each show and clip it out in segments by topic, which is great because, again, it allows you to share topics one at a time with friends and family. You don't have to tell them, hey, go check out this 4-hour podcast and go to 2 hours and 43 minutes when Gonz makes this fantastic point about Klaus Schwab or whatever. You can just find the topic in the video and just send them that. And they range from, a couple minutes to, I don't know, we can pontificate on topics for a while and go longer, half hour, something like that. But most of them are about 10 to 15 minutes. Actually, it looks like a lot of them are under 10 minutes. So there you go. Go check it out. It's a huge list of topics that we covered. So thank you to the Clippers for that. And I think that's it. Oh, I think Basil does talk about the text messages. You can text Canary to 877-740-3226, and we will send you a text message right before we go live so that we can let you know that we're going live, right? There you go. All right. Okay, what do I do? Okay, I'm going to try to get some sentiment from the producers in chat right now. Should I do the Flippy update, do the other story that I had for Basil, or should I say bye to YouTube? Because normally we say bye to YouTube around this time. But I don't know. Okay, let's just do the Flippy update. Might as well. It's not looking good. If it's taken this long for Basil to get back, something is wrong. Something is fundamentally wrong with his whole get up over there. So let me set this up and go to the Flippy update.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
This is the Flippy update, where we talk about Flippy, which is a robot arm that flips burgers. We've been tracking Flippy for a long time because, we got to track the robot takeover. And when the pandemic hit, we were like, hey, this is a great opportunity for robots to dive in and help out when nobody can be in the same room without the face mask and and bacteria killers and that kind of thing. Well, anyway, Flippy is a colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. Oh, all the horrible things are happening because of robot arms. And today, we have a story from GiantFreakinRobot.com, your favorite robot outlet. And the headline here is, "See the terrifying new BirdBot robot." The BirdBot robot. Okay, let's see what it says here. You've seen Boston Dynamics robot that dance on 2 legs and the more dog-like automatons that run on 4. You've seen plenty of movies that depict androids like Terminator or Blade Runner, but have you seen BirdBot? Wow, I love this outlet already. Giant freaking robot. BirdBot is the creation of Alexander Barty Sprowitz, Monica Daly, and members of their lab, and it's designed to give us a better bipedal robot. You can see the BirdBot below. And you have a photo of a couple, I guess these are ducks, in the background, right by a little pond area. And you have this 2-legged BirdBot. I guess you can describe it as what look to be kind of like 2 bird legs and a little motor type thing for the body, and then what looks like a neck and a head. No wings or a body, really, to sort of describe. More like legs and a little packet and a head out of a neck going on with this BirdBot. Terrifying, huh? Alexander Barty Sprowitz is an engineer who set out to make a robot based on the biology of a bird. He found the veterinary scientist Monica Daly to combine her expertise in animal biology and with his engineering and robotics skills. Biology with his engineering and robotics skills. And thus, BirdBot was born. Wow, this is like a romantic comedy or something. You know, Alexander meets Monica, and they pontificate on the possibilities of robot engineering in the animal kingdom, and BirdBot was born. The robot uses the observation of bird movement and biology to make a robot that is more agile on its 2 feet, while also having more balance in dense or rough terrain. One of the challenges of creating a bipedal robot is the harsh pressure from every impact the foot makes on the ground. As Barty Sprowitz explains, the force of a running foot hitting the ground can be up to 3 times the weight of the runner, and walking can be 1.5 times the weight. The other challenge of creating the BirdBot is taking this force into account while also making sure it can balance on 1 foot when the other is leaving the ground to step forward. Almost sounds like a divine sort of design of the bipedal thing of creation. To fix that issue, the BirdBot uses a spring-loaded system that quickly transitions the robot's legs from an extended position and a flexed position. The robot also uses a 5-joint system that mimics the movement that is like an ostrich. Unlike humans, those muscles and tendons can only spread over 2 joints. Bird biology allows these muscles and tendons to connect to 5 joints. By designing this into the structure of the BirdBot, the team was able to make the robot handle terrain and stay upright. And let me play a little video here, about a 3-minute video. Let's take a look at what this thing looks like. And I'll try my best to describe. Oh, Max Planck Institute. All right, you got some emus, some ostriches. Okay, I'm sure there's some narration going on. Where's the BirdBot? All right, let's get to the BirdBot. Get to the BirdBot. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, here we go. All right, let's see if there's some volume here.
BirdBot needs fewer motors than other walking robots and could be built a very large size. The research was published in the journal Science Robotics. Back to the real animal, birds fold their feet backward during the swing phase. Alexander Barty Sprowitz, who is first author of the study, and his team attribute this movement to a mechanical coupling. The team believe that a network of muscles and tendons that span multiple joints enables this coupling, like a muscle-tendon cable pull.
So they're showing BirdBot. They're showing sort of the movement of the leg, the mechanical leg, and the bird ostrich running side by side. And yeah, when you watch this thing move, it's very fluid. It looks very natural. So I would say terrifying or creepy. Sure. Yeah. The when it comes to, controlling the mind of a human population into accepting robots, their efficiency and the way they look and how they do things makes a big difference in how we think about them. So, when it comes to like an ostrich, if it has the movement that of an ostrich, then, the people will be like, oh, it's just kind of like an animal that we can control and domesticate and do things for us. It'll do work for us. It's not an autonomous machine robot that, can one day take over the world. It's just a friendly ostrich-like animal that we can program to do things for us in the factory or whatever it may be, or on the battlefield. So yeah, and certainly it does look, it is very smooth. And the one thing that's troubling is how the narration there was like, oh, they can create this in any size. It's like, oh, great. So we can make this thing the size of like a city or something. Some big stomping going on. I'm sorry, I'm pausing the video here because I'm seeing this here. BirdBot achieves energy efficient gait with minimal control using aviation inspired leg clutching. And it lists here Department of Ecology and Evolutionary Biology, University of California, Irvine, which is my not official alma mater. 8 units shy of an official sociology degree that would have done me no good anyway. But anyway, there you go. See the terrifying new BirdBot robot. The Flippy arm was really sort of the humanoid arm version of a machine robot. I can picture these legs being more sort of like ubiquitous in robot design, especially if it can carry load and it can move around and stuff. But I suppose there's no point to having a 2-legged thing unless I don't know, they got some stuff to solve, I guess, if they're going to carry things or whatnot. But anyway, there's your Flippy update. Let us know what you think. There in chat and comments and whatever it may be. But there you go. Okay. Should I message back? Okay, hold on. I'm going to message him to see if he's even available. Yo, bro, how you doing? See how he's holding up over there. It was very windy where he lives or was or will be. And right before we went live today, he had to run outside and like chase a part of his property that was blowing away. So he was already having some issues out there. So, typical Basil. You got trains. The earliest remote podcasting, we had like a train chase after him on live recording a podcast. And nothing changes much in 10 years. Okay. Moving on here. Let's see. Well, you know what? I'm going to have to do it. The show must go on. Basil's been talking a lot about this topic of magic mushrooms. Oh, okay. Okay, so he's working on, all right, he's dealing with some real-life cyber pandemic. So, hey, you know what we should do is, just for the sake of doing it, I think this is something that we should do more often. But this is, I'm going to call the producers here.
Producers, assemble!
All right, producers, send your prayers out to Basil and for him to figure out and claim victory over this miniature cyber pandemic that he is experiencing that has prevented him from being on the show live with us right now. So clearly something went wrong, and whether that is nefarious in origin or nefarious in a spiritual manner, let's just pray that things get fixed and he can jump back on here. But yeah, so he's been talking a lot about this magic mushroom thing, and here's an article from theindependent.co.uk, otherwise known as Indie UK. And before we even jump into the article, I just want to point out the author of this article, because this is an individual that I am not entirely convinced is real, as a real human. And that is the author of this article, an environmental correspondent for independent.co.uk, Harry Cockburn. Yes, that's not a profane thing. This is the real author of this article, Harry Cockburn. He's written a lot of articles, and he's got a page here on the indie.co.uk website here. He says he's been the Independent's news desk editor since October 2016. His work frequently focuses on the environment and global climate change, which is, for us, that's a ding, ding, ding for us. But I don't know, man. I don't think this is a real guy. I think this is some AI deep-faked individual writing articles about global climate change for indie.co.uk, which is 41% owned by the son of a former KGB agent, Russian oligarch. All the things that get uncovered on Canary Cry News Talk. So, anyway, getting back to this magic mushroom thing here. Okay, here's what it says. Psilocybin, the psychedelic compound found in magic mushrooms, could be used to help treat depression, with new human trials resulting in a promising advance which could help where traditional therapies may not. Scientists at Imperial College London said their study suggests the compound, quote-unquote, opens up communication between different parts of the brain and works therapeutically to alleviate depression. They said it could possibly provide treatment for other psychiatric conditions that are marked by fixed patterns of thinking. The researchers said psilocybin is one of a number of psychedelics being explored as a potential therapy for psychiatric disorders. Several studies have trialed a synthesized form of a drug to treat patients with depression and anxiety with promising results. The latest results, taken from 2 combined studies, reveal that people who responded to psilocybin-assisted therapy showed increased brain connectivity not just during their treatment, but up to 3 weeks afterward. This quote-unquote opening up effect was associated with self-reported improvements in their depression. However, similar changes in brain connectivity were not seen in those treated with a conventional antidepressant called escitalopram. Sounds right. I'm not up to speed on all the antidepressant drugs, but I think that's how you say it. Escitalopram, suggesting the psychedelic works differently in treating depression. The paper's senior author, Professor Robert Carhart-Harris, former head of the Imperial Center for Psychedelic Research and who is now based at the University of California, San Francisco, said, quote, the effect seen with psilocybin is consistent across 2 studies related to people getting better and was not seen with a conventional antidepressant. In previous studies, we had seen a similar effect in the brain when people were scanned whilst on psychedelic, but here we're seeing it weeks after treatment for depression, which suggests a carryover of the acute drug action. End quote. In the latest study, a team led by Imperial's Center for Psychedelic Research analyzed fMRI scans of almost 60 participants with treatment-resistant depression who undertook 2 trials. In the first trial, all the participants received psilocybin. In the second, the participants were not told whether they had been given psilocybin or a placebo that turned out to be escitalopram, an SSRI, the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor antidepressant. In addition to the drug, all participants also received talking therapies with registered mental health professionals, and brain scans were taken before and then 1 day or 3 weeks after participants received psilocybin therapy. Both trials found improvements with psilocybin therapy as measured by improved participant scores on clinical questionnaire. The scans, which were done before and after the treatment, showed the psilocybin treatment reduced connections within brain areas that are tightly connected in depression and increased connection to other regions of the brain that had not been well integrated and are more segregated in depressed patients. They found a correlation between this effect and symptom improvement in both trials. While the strength and duration of effect varied between participants, it was strongest in those who reported an improvement in symptoms. This is back to Professor Carhart-Harris. Quote, we don't yet know how long the changes in brain activity seen with psilocybin therapy last, and we don't and we need to do more research to understand this. We do know that some people relapse, and it may be that after a while their brains revert to the rigid pattern of activity we see in depression. The authors warned that while their findings are encouraging, the trials took place under controlled clinical conditions using regulated doses of psilocybin formulated in the laboratory and involved extensively in psychological support before, during, and after dosing provided by mental health professionals. I think this is the sort of nugget in this story, which is that this study was done not by the mushroom that you pick off of cow poop and, put in this is what the druggies do. They put it in a peanut butter sandwich or something and they scuffle it down for a trip. Not that kind of trial. We're talking lab created psilocybin. So different in the sense that, same substance chemically, but different origin. One happens under the sort of natural condition of the fallen world, where fungi grow from poop and other things and create this chemical that, when ingested, has this crazy effect on the mind and the brain and all that kind of, or just at least some kind of existential experience. The other is a synthetic psilocybin created in a laboratory in a controlled method and given to patients and in studies in a controlled way. So again, kind of begs the question, difficult, challenging questions on this topic, especially for Christians, when it comes to, hey, if it's created in the earth, God created it. It's part of God's creation. You can bring in the argument about the fall. Does that have something to do with natural occurring substances that may create some kind of perceptory experience? But also you got to think about in the Bible, there are prophets multiple times who are told to eat a scroll, for example. And from that ingestion, they have visions, so you just never know. I think there are the mechanics of, tapping into the spiritual world when it comes to these substances. I think that part of it is real and is sort of part of the design of creation. Whether we are to freely, under our own will, go under the influence to tap into those realms, that's a whole different ethical question. And I think that's where people get conflated. There are nuances to this conversation that are ongoing, and I think shows like us, we're trying to have that conversation in a more thorough and calm, sort of objective manner, because and looking at it from all angles, because of course, they do want to, I think, commercialize this substance, and it will be commercialized in a way of like, hey, mushrooms helping depression. And that will create a sort of visceral reaction from the religious community at large. So, given the reality of how all this works is much more nuanced, I think. And again, I'm not encouraging anybody to take magic mushrooms and, do that. That's not what we're saying. In fact, don't. Speaking from experience. But it is an interesting topic because as it comes into mainstream culture in a clinical fashion, as the medical, the scientific dictatorship use it in a commercial manner to perhaps have the merchants of the world deceive the world through their sorcery, that kind of thing, then it certainly makes sense to take something that is a little bit more of a natural thing and make it their own so that they can control it and they can get all the controlling authoritarian benefit from it. So anyway, let me continue on here. They said patients with depression should not attempt to self-medicate with psilocybin, as taking magic mushrooms or psilocybin in the absence of these careful safeguards may not have a positive outcome. Again, let me say from personal experience. Not just me, and people around me, too, that had some horrible experiences. Professor David Nutt, head of the Imperial Center for Psychedelic Research, said, quote, "These findings are important because for the first time we find that psilocybin works differently from conventional antidepressants, making the brain more flexible and fluid." Oh, wow. Who would benefit from having a flexible and fluid brain? It's much more easy to reshape someone's worldview, when they're under psilocybin, because, their brains get more flexible and fluid, and less entrenched in the negative thinking patterns associated with depression. This supports our initial predictions and confirms psilocybin could be a real alternative approach to depression treatments. So there you go. This is another update. It's really nothing new in terms of the study or anything like that. I think some of these studies are old. It's sort of just combining the two and making another sort of public declaration of the effectiveness of psilocybin when it comes to treating depression. And it's the progress of this topic. But as we move forward here, I think we will see, again, all the different groups before or against it. You're going to have your Joe Rogan types for it. This may also spark a strange sort of group of, I don't know, Christian truther types that are like, yeah, but we're also into magic mushrooms, some weird offshoot group. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just shooting from the hip at this point. So anyway, that's the magic mushroom story. I'm sure Basil had a lot more to say about it. He may or may not be able to get to that today, but more importantly for me, I'm going to keep track of this Harry Cockburn here. We're looking out for you, Harry Cockburn. We'll see what kind of stories you're publishing and what kind of propaganda you're peddling for the KGB over there at the independent.co.uk. All right. What's next? What do we have on the agenda? You know what? This is where we break. Yep. This is where we break. So let's break.
It's break time! Come on, take a break.
We're just going to take a short break to thank the producers who come in and support the show. Yes, producers, not just people who give money. They're actual producers. They produce the show. That's how it works in Hollywood. I know that's not the greatest thing to say, but that's the truth. If you are in Hollywood and you help fund a project, then you are named a producer of that show. That's just how it works. And so we do the same thing here. It's a real, actual label title that you can put on your CV or your profile or whatever it may be. It's something that's legit. So this is a legitimate thing. And we like to thank our producers because they are the ones that are supporting the show financially, at least in this break. And they're the ones that make it all operational. All right, so for episode 200, my gosh, no, we are in episode 473. Oh, you know why I'm thinking episode 200 something? As I get sidetracked a little bit, but let me just rant about it for a moment here, because I can. I don't have Basil holding me back. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, folks. The Watch the Water documentary that everybody's still kind of chatting about and talking about. The episode where we actually had a serpent inside of the coronavirus as part of the art was episode 200 and what is it? 270? No, I'm sorry. 226. Yeah, 226 soul cages. And we talked about the story about, this was back in July of 2020. Oh no, I'm sorry. You know what? I'm completely... No, that's a mistake. No, July of 2020 was when we first reported on sewage surveillance. The whole monitoring the water supply, or not the water supply, but the sewage supply as part of COVID. People thought we were nuts. We were playing that the toilet flushing jingle and stuff like that. People thought it was crazy, but that's kind of the sort of central point being used as part of the thesis for, hey, they spread COVID in water from that documentary, which I don't know that they did that on a large scale. Maybe they did that locally in some jurisdictions or something like that. I mean, there's history of that with the LSD water thing. So, it wouldn't be it's too crazy to think that they would do that in some smaller population. But it'd be really hard to do, in the entire world water supply, or at least water consumed or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, that's why I was thinking episode 200 something is because, we had covered some of the topics, actually most of the topics brought up in the documentary over the last 2 years, and I think listeners of the show, producers of the show, know that, and they appreciate the fact that we were covering those issues. And certainly it was presented in a way that's concise, and you got a real doctor, a chiropractor up there, really bringing it all together and sort of making it all fit in the narrative of the snake venom type of thing, which I think has a psyop element to it. I don't want to get into it too much now. I think I'll put together a whole commentary on that, but there was a story about the crazy guy who thought his kids were infected with serpent DNA and he killed them. Remember that story? I think they're trying to provide ammunition to connect people who may question the narratives or continue to question the narratives as people that want to kill their children or kill anybody who has serpent DNA. And so that's part of the crazy psyop taking place here. But anyway, the producers of the show, the reason why this show can happen, and it's this kind of investigative reporting, or at least deconstruction of mainstream news, that allows us to be ahead of the game and sort of see things before they happen, because we're not prophets. We're not making predictions per se. We're just looking at the trends. We're looking at the stories that they put out there. It's all part of the psychological operation, and we're sort of here to help deconstruct that and help people process all the news in the world through that lens. And of course, we're biblically grounded, Jesus first, and that's the message. That's the core of what we do here, and we can't do it without the producers. And we're going to start off by thanking the executive producers once again.
Executive producers.
And once again, we would like to thank, we have a third executive producer that joined the party here between the top of the show and now. But before we get to this individual, we're going to thank our other two who we thanked at the top of the show, Caroline F. Oops, wrong button. Caroline F. Thank you very much.
Where'd you find this?
And a very generous amount there from Caroline F. It's a flat number, and what we try to do is lean towards anonymity here on this show. So if you give us a round number, we're going to keep it anonymous. But if you give us a fun number or something a little offbeat, then that'll be our signal to read the actual amount given. So thank you very much, Caroline F. We appreciate that. I know there's more to the story here with Caroline F. So we'll get to that, I think, in some future episodes here. But in the meantime, thank you very much. Next executive producer of episode 473, Rochelle S. Thank you, Rochelle S.
Where'd you find this?
And Rochelle S. comes in with that fun number, 123.45. 12345. And she has a note here: whether we count out time in days or years, it's only a scratch on the eternity timeline. Why do we think this scratches everything? Doesn't God say there's eternity to be gained and hell to be shunned? Teach us to number our days. God bless. Thank you very much, Rochelle S. God bless, and thank you for your executive producership of episode number 473. And we're very grateful for that. And we got one more here, Dame Stormy. Thank you, Dame Stormy. She comes in with a nice round number.
Where'd you find this?
And she has a note here. Thank you for your work infiltrating the Church of Satan. Love you guys, Dame Stormy. Well, thank you, Dame Stormy. Although currently, perhaps we are in the thick of a sort of a reverse, a sort of Pharaoh deciding to chase after the Israelites moment, when the Church of Satan is going after Basil, and any kind of ground he gained while he was making progress on his skating moves in the Church of Satan there yesterday. I think they're trying to gain it back because they took down his internet and is unable to be with us today at this moment. He was with us at the top of the show, and then it all fell apart. So, thank you very much, Dame Stormy. And we'll just keep track here. No updates from Basil. So, all right, we're just going to keep plowing forward here. And so thank you very much to all of our executive producers there. We really appreciate it. That's Caroline F., Rochelle S., and Dame Stormy. Thank you very much. Oh, where's my thank you? Come on. There we go. All right. Supply drop. Go to CanaryCry.Supply.com and you can participate in receiving supplies from us as part of a campaign for producers of Canary Cry News Talk, a thank you campaign where you sign up for $33 a month or a different amount there, and we will drop some items right on your doorstep. And we're very excited about this and what it all means for the producers who, commit to the show. We want to give back, and we want to give back with some fun items. Let's see. Oh, we got a message from Basil. Hold on real quick. Yes, we are in break. Thanking supply droppers. Fun live moment here. Chatting with Basil. At least he has some internet connection. All right, so supply droppers, thank you very much. We have one new supply dropper today, and that is Angela V. Thank you, Angela V. We appreciate your producership joining the supply drop team there. We also got the NFT supply drop for the NFTs for the supply droppers, the Canary Cry Genesis drop from Q1 2022. And I'm working really hard to put together this tutorial to get everybody a crypto wallet, and so you guys can send us your Ethereum address and we'll send you the NFT. I don't know why it's not loading on this page here for some reason. Hold on, let me refresh so we can, for those of you watching, can at least see what's going on here with the NFT. Maybe that got taken down too. We're just getting taken down. Cyber pandemic all over the place. But yes, thank you very much, Angela V, for being a supply dropper and being a part of this. Waiting for the supply drop. Waiting for the supply drop. I was going to say something else about this, but it's hard to do video, audio, and read at the same time. But I can do it. I've multitasked before. Doing tech at church, there's been some interesting experiences where you have to do video, lyrics, and make sure audio is, all taken care of. Then you got people trying to talking to your ear while you're doing that. I mean, it's craziness out there. So anyway, moving on, we're going to thank other producers who come in under the amount of $100, but more than $7.77. That is our cutoff. Anybody over $7.77 is entitled for a note to be read. And the first person to thank here is Laura C. Thank you, Laura C. She comes in with a note here. Happy Easter to you both. Sorry to see producership so low today. I hope this blesses you. Enjoy the weekend, Laura. Oh, thank you, Laura. And I think this actually came in on Friday, and maybe we missed it on Friday, or it came in, during the show or after we had thanked the people. So thank you very much, Laura C. Yeah, we had at least my family, we had a great resurrection weekend, and was able to celebrate with church and family, and it was a good time. So thank you for that, and thank you for your producership, Laura C. Next up, we have Lady Knight Little Wing. Thank you, Lady Knight Little Wing. I don't believe Lady Knight Little Wing is on a streak, but appreciate your producership here. And yeah, I don't see a note. So hopefully this is all up to date. I don't know if Basil has it all up to date. And if we miss something, please let us know. We'll make it right in either the next episode or at some point. Because we're sort of moving on the fly here. We're polling an audible today, but show must go on. All right. So thank you very much, Lady Knight Little Wing. Next up, we have Emily C. Thank you, Emily C. She comes in with $45.96. Very specific number. And she has a note. It's my birthday.
It's your birthday.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Emily C. In fact, why don't we just play the old birthday jingle too?
Happy birthday to
And the note says, it's my birthday and I'll produce since I love y'all. And then a big heart emoji. Keep up the great work, friends. Love M and Bobby C. Oh, it's Bobby's birthday. Happy birthday, Bobby. Hope you have a great one. And yeah, thank you very much for your producership, you and Emily. I had a video a long time ago called something about M's, E-M. It was based on some TED Talk where they're talking about emulets, which are basically kind of like human, they're AI, but they're cloned from human consciousness or something like that. And they emulate human thinking and human emotions. And this TED Talk guy was all stoked about the M's, they're coming and they're going to help us and they're going to shape AI and all this kind of stuff. And it was like, oh, okay, that's weird. So anyway, sorry, M, that your sign off there reminded me of that, but it's Emily. You're not an M. You're not an M with Bobby C, unless Bobby C is in on something, unless you created this M. All right. Moving on. Thank you very much, Emily C. Next up, we have Alicia JR. Thank you, Alicia JR, coming in with $35. It's an interesting, I don't know if it's a 33 and round up. Maybe it was a round number. I don't know. But thank you very much, Alicia JR. I don't see a note here, so appreciate the producership. Next up, we have Brian H. coming in $33.33.
Illuminatus!
And I don't see a note here, but thank you very much, Brian H. And next up, we have Morv coming in with 11.11. And Morv is on a streak, and I don't think this number that is written on the sheet is correct, because I am almost certain that we... Sorry, I'm stalling. I'm almost certain that we have given Morv the wrong thing here, the wrong streak number before, and I don't know if it was corrected or not. He was on 77 recently, so I believe he is on 78. So thank you very much, Morv. 78 episodes in a row. And yes, coming in with the 11.11. I think that's right. All right. Yeah, thank you very much, Morv. I don't see a note here from Morv either, so let me change that in there for the notes in the future. All right. Oop, why isn't it working? Here we go. All right, there you go. All right, next up we have Sir JC Knight of the Techno Squatch. And, now I'm skeptical about Sir JC's amount too. I might have messed up right here. Oh, wait. No. Morv is 79. Oh, now I'm really confused. Okay, well, Sir JC, Knight of the Techno Squatch, is either on a 93 episode streak or a 94 episode streak. I don't know, but it's one of those.
1001. Amen.
And he comes in with 1001 with a note. He is risen. Thankful for the Canarium and the ministry from you guys. Basil, what video games have you been playing and what metaverses have you both become interested in? I cannot speak for Basil. Clearly, he is unable to even access the metaverse currently. But for me, I've been scoping out the sandbox because it is sort of revved up to be one of the big metaverses out there. There's also some interesting things being done with the project called Illuvium and several others. There's a lot of them out there right now. I think we're going to see some crashing markets from the metaverse sort of realm. It was kind of hype at the end of last year, but a lot of projects were overvalued. But in terms of tangible projects, and I'm keeping an eye on there's a project called Meta Hero, and their whole thing is that they're going to create a metaverse that is the most realistic VR experience. You know, the sort of esoteric thing that I've been talking about for a long time, like basically plotting every molecule in the virtual world so that when you're in the virtual state, it's, you know, you can't tell that you're in a virtual world kind of thing. I think, Meta Hero, and they have, I forget the name of the specific project. There's some, I can't remember. I'm trying to look it up right now. There's some aspect of the Meta Hero thing, some dome, I forget. I'm sorry. But yeah, that's one that I'm keeping an eye on. Well, all of these I'm keeping an eye on, but that's one where the promises are very extravagant. So there you go. Thank you very much, Sir JC, Knight of the Techno Squatch. Next up, we have Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. And Sir Scott is on a, well, it says 134 here, but I don't trust it. He might be on a 135 episode streak. Either way, he is the streak.
Yes, they call him the street. Fastest thing on 2 feet.
And Sir Knight, or Sir Scott, Knight of the... Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Something might be off here. Clearly, this document was not finished entirely prior to us getting into it. But no note. Thank you very much, Sir Scott, Knight of Truth. We're just going to plow through here. Next up, we have Joshua M. Thank you, Joshua M. Comes in at 777. He has a note. Hey, Basil and Gonz, it's been a while since donating. Times have been a little tough. Yeah, seriously. With the inflation, it's crazy. But got things back on track. Oh, I'm glad. And am possibly getting into a new cybersecurity job soon. Hey, Joshua M., would you like to be the Canarium's personal cybersecurity expert to get Basil back online here? We can really use you. But yes, thank you for your contribution here. It will go towards cyber securing Basil a little bit more. And you're 777 there, so I can fight Klaus's cyber attack for the great reset. God bless JM. Thank you very much. JM, that's Joshua M. Appreciate that. Next up, we have Gail M. Thank you, Gail M. Gail is on a 100 and, well, it says 109, so we're just going to go with it. 109 episode streak.
Tweakers. Women rule. Thank you so much.
And Gail says, hello, my sweet dudes. Shout out to Learbag 3000 and Ciara, reminding them that I'm still waiting for them to claim their gift of gratitude from the Canarium. Update time. Stamper Jackie U is this week's honoree. Now listen up, y'all. Any and all listeners, new and old, are welcome to participate in Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag giveaway. Just add some value to the show with producership or write a review or sharing your talent in the arts, etc. Come join the party wherever you are. There's always a good time to be had and friends to be made. Just do it. To all my current family members, I am so grateful for you all. XXXXXX. Oh. Thank you very much, Gail M. Always very sweet. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And if you, first off, Learbag 3K and Ciara, you got to claim your gift. And also, Jackie U as well, and anybody else who wants to participate in Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag giveaway. So thank you very much. All right, that does it for the producers who came in with 777 or more. Again, if we missed you and you came in sometime during the show, just send us a note. Let us know. We'll make it right in the next episode. This is part of the show that Basil usually handles with all this. So, I'm kind of doing it on the fly and doing what I can here, but it's possible that some of this is not as accurate as it can be. So there you go. Thank you very much to everybody. We're going to thank the rest of the producers who came in under $7.77, starting off with the latest honoree of Gail's Gratitude Grab Bag, Jackie U. Thank you, Jackie U. She comes in according to the document. That'll be my out. According to the document, which could be wrong. Jackie U is on a 49 episode streak.
Yeah, she's on a streak.
Women rule.
Thank you, Jackie U. Next up, we have Sir Casey, the Shield Knight, who is on a 144 episode streak, or a 144. Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. Looking in files. I think we made a call out for a 144 jingle, and I'm not sure if anybody submitted anything. I'm just double checking because sometimes, a lot of files come in and I don't always remember everything. So, there's a note from Basil. I'm just reading his note and okay, so he's trying to cut a deal with the internet man. He's currently in the trenches of a battle with Klaus's representatives to try to get back on the internet. So I'm just going to ask him if I think he will get back on anytime during the episode today. And we shall find out what he says. All right. Where was I? We were thanking Sir Casey the Shield Knight, and I was trying to see if anybody sent in a 144 jingle because of the 144,000 in the Book of Revelation. We thought it would be a good number to sort of create that next tier for people on streak who, Sir Casey the Shield Knight is paving the way for streaks. He is the streak currently.
Well, yes, they call him the streak. Fast thing on 2 feet.
And that means that he has to, Cody, all right. He has to deal with the inefficiency of, I guess one fault of a value for value model produced show is that, if nobody does a 144 jingle, we're just not going to have one. It's one of those issues where we're not paying anybody to do it. So if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And we sort of just do the show, and we can do, I can always sit down and carve out some time to try to put one together. But I think our producers can put together something cool. And if I'm completely missing it and somebody did send in a 144 jingle and I'm just not able to find it or I'm just forgetting about it, please remind me. I need reminding. It's hard to keep up with all this stuff. So in the meantime, Sir Casey the Shield Knight is on a 144 episode streak, and that does make him the streak, and that makes him biblical. All right. Veronica D is the next streaker who's on a 109 episode streak. Oh, the streak sister with Gail M. Gail M came in above 777, so she had that note today. But the other streak sister is Veronica D, who is on a 109 episode streak.
Streakers.
Oh, yeah!
Women rule!
Thank you very much, Veronica D. And last but not least is Runk Smash, who is on a 21 episode streak. Wait a minute. No, that's wrong too. Hold on. No, that's wrong too. Wait a minute. We gave him the 21 gun salute like 2 episodes ago, so he's got to be on episode, or like a 23rd episode streak or something. Somewhere around there, Runk Smash, you're in there. All right. Well, thank you for your patronage, everybody.
Shut up and take my money.
Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage. Thank you for your patronage.
All right, there you go. That's all the producers for today's show. What do we do next? Oh, we say bye to YouTubers. That's right. Okay, I think I'm going to have to do that today because we're going to talk COVID. There's a lot of COVID stuff, and yeah. Oh, you know what? Let me wake up first.
Yes, it's wake up time.
Hey, yo, wake up.
See you later.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure?
Go to Twitch, Rumble, Odysee, Twitter, Facebook, whatever it is. You can find all those links at CanaryCry.Party as well. Too hot for YouTube.
YouTube. Now you see me. Now you don't.
Bye, YouTube. Hopefully you will find us on another location Just go to CanaryCry.Party and look for it. And you'll find us elsewhere. Clicking